Welcome back, friends, to another reading for the collective. My name's Ross, and I post these readings every Tuesday and Thursday. So if this found you, welcome. And there's something in here for you if this did find you. So, as always, take what resonates and leave the rest. And if something doesn't resonate with you, maybe it will resonate with someone you know. So, feel free to share, like, comment, subscribe, do all that fun YouTube stuff. And we will begin, as we always do, with focusing on whatever it is we need guidance or assistance in, or just another perspective. I always say that these are suggestions, it's not prescriptive. I'm not your dad. You don't need to follow this to a T. And tarot kind of just shows an option, an avenue that maybe you hadn't considered before. So, as we are considering, we'll take 3 breaths in through the nose and out through the nose or the mouth, whichever is more accessible to you. If you do breathe out through the mouth, I invite you to give a little hum, a sigh, some kind of sound as you exhale. So, breathing in and out. 2 more times, breathing in and breathing out. And last time, breathing in and out. So, let's see what the cards have to say for you today. So, what you want to stay? What do the folks want to know? What do the folks need to know? What do the cards want to say about the lovely folks gathered here today? Did that rhyme? I think it did. Nice. 3 cards to start with. So this is the one that popped out first, and that is the 7. Is that what that is? No, I'm sorry. 8 of Swords reversed. So if you'll recall from the last reading that you'll be able to see right here, there was a lot of reversal. And in the last couple readings, there's been this energy of divine abundance flowing in, maybe overflowing in is a more accurate way of saying it, and the inclination to resist that. And when we see this card right side up, we can think of that resistance and the self imposed limitations that can kind of come with that. When this is right side up, we see that this is a person who may have been led out into this place away from the structure of society, of the castle, and so on. But her legs aren't bound, these ropes are quite loose, and the swords don't actually box her in. This is emblematic of someone who has allowed past limitations, or since the swords represent thoughts and thinking, we could say that someone who has allowed their thoughts to box them in. But it did come up reversed. So that just leads me to believe that whatever it is you've been doing to kind of reconcile the divine overflow with your own kind of human being system. Whatever you've been doing, it's working. With it reversed, these swords fall out of the ground, the bandages, the ties fall right off, and you are able to see more clearly. This is someone who is a good card to start with, especially given the past kind of energies, we can say, in the other reads. So this is a great place to start. This is someone who is taking the blindfold off and stepping outside of their own self-imposed confines. Good job. 3 of Wands reversed. And this has come up before, and I'm sure it'll come up again. This is the idea of someone who has, or someone who is about to begin some kind of exploration. We can see this person and imagine that they're standing at the edge of the known world, the world that they have conquered, and they have sent out these three or so ships. Are there three? That makes sense if there are. Yeah, three ships to either explore the unknown or return from the unknown with information. It was reversed, and we can think of that as a blockage when we see a reverse card. But like with the I'm sorry, eight of swords reversed, it's not so much about a blockage, but about an allowance in this case. And it's not, like I say, I don't like to keep these prescriptive. It's different for each card. With this one reversed, it's less about exploring either outside of yourself or within yourself. It's that kind of reconciliation. That might be the word of the day or the word of this reading, with knowing that you are a physical being having a spiritual being having a temporary human experience, that your energy and the energy is most of what you are. And there's just a small bit of you that is actually matter, solid matter. So this is suggestive of someone who has come to terms with the knowingness of the vastness within as well as the vastness without, and has kind of come to a place of equilibrium, of balance between those two realms. A journey is ending, or maybe love is afoot. Ooh. No, I mean, maybe. But as far as what these cards are showing, these three cards, this does show that. Hmm, I'm just proud of you. I want to pause a moment and say that, like, I feel a lot of pride for you, whoever you are, because it's not easy. It's not easy to be on this journey. It's not easy to have uh, the divine love of God showered upon you, especially if you've been limiting yourself based on programming and things like that. But this is suggesting that that journey, or at least this leg of that journey, because the journey's never really over, that leg of the journey is coming to an end. So all of the tension, all of the stress, all of the, associated with whatever has been up for you with regards to that energy, that is coming to a close, or it's reaching its nadir. Is that the opposite of zenith? It's coming down. The wave is settling, and we've got a new moon coming up soon this weekend. And new moons are when the energy is at its lowest. It's a good time to set those intentions. So if you were an intention setting person, then I would invite you to set that intention for this new moon, to allow what has been stirred up or what has been blasted at you to settle and grow into something that is more sustainable, more in line with this kind of balance between outer exploration and inner exploration. Way to go. I just want to see here. 8, 3, 8. Ooh, two eights. So 88 might be relevant for you. And yeah, this feels like it was a solid read on its own. So let's just get some wisdom from Hafiz to wrap it up. So, Hafiz, can we please have a summary or another way of looking at this? It would be much appreciated. And if you appreciate these readings, I will leave my Venmo and PayPal links in the description below. Loving donations from the heart are always welcome. but never required. So, Hafiz, what have you got to say for us today? What is the message? What is the theme? What do you want to say? Is it you? Do you want to come out? Who wants to come out? Yeah. Do I want to take all of these or do we want to pick one? Okay, it's all of them. So we've got confirmation sneeze, 22, befriend pleasure, 31, retreat, 24, speak your truth. And there are flying things on each one of these cards, so that might be relevant to the air signs. We're about to enter Aquarius, which is an air sign. Yeah, peacock, swan, dragonfly. So we'll just read these in the way they came out. 22, befriend pleasure. Like the sun makes love with the fields and forests, so can we with all things. We can easily get lost in the pressures of responsibility, and that lostness often creates a forgetting of simple pleasures, the indulgence of a long bath, the friendliness of candlelight, the sweetness of a bright day under a shade tree, the more-ishness of an exquisite lingering meal. Our bodies are sensual by design and quest for delight. This is a good time to follow the path of what brings you pleasure and dance with the ecstasy you meet along the way. Love that. 31, retreat. Alone in the desert, alone in the woods, alone in the hills, so helped me to see more who we are, and to sing so charmingly the heavens sat in my palm. Now is the time to retreat from an argument, from an outdated belief system, from a dying dream, or even from the noise of the world. Create a safe space for hermitage. Cease all effort. Back away from whatever holds your power hostage right now and seek a shelter for your growing awareness. Wander, hum, rest, go idle. When you let go of what no longer serves you, you can see more clearly who you really are and what next steps are in alignment with your highest good. Excuse me, confirmation verb. And then 24. Speak your truth. The truth of who we are changes until you can hear the Buddha say, "You are the very root of me." And you know that in the soul of your soul. This is not the time to say the right thing. This is the time to say the only thing, to liberate the one true living thing. I'm sorry, to liberate the one true thing living in your heart that craves freedom. Do not sugarcoat or overanalyze. First, get centered and quiet to hear the truth as it lives in your core, and then speak it clearly with grace and integrity. An authentic life spoken truthfully will cost you comfort, relationships, and security, but it is worth everything. It is the soul of your soul. Thank you, Hafiz. And this feels like a kind of that feels like a summary of what this was. These are just also good, you know, always befriend pleasure, and talking about these being arrows of love. That's what Waite calls them in the book that I have. But love can be pleasurable and love can be self loving. Wanted to be careful of how I said that because I didn't want y'all to take it the wrong way. But I mean, take it that way too if that's something that you find pleasurable. But anyway, getting back to speaking your truth, and with this kind of progression we've seen here, you're getting out of your head, you're letting the ideas of what should be said and what you should be fall away. You're walking with God in perfect holiness, to quote A Course in Miracles. And with that comes a new responsibility, a new way of speaking, a new way of seeing, a new way of interacting with the world. And when you do that, some things will fall away that don't serve you anymore. But things falling away is the natural progression of expansion. And you're expanding, whoever you are. I am so happy that you are expanding, and I'm so happy that you were drawn to this video. Like I said, if you were drawn here, then there is something relevant for you, whether you find this when I posted or weeks from when I posted. The images, the energy, the messages are still relevant for time immemorial until the world ends. And that feels complete. So I just want to say thank you again for stopping by. And I post these videos every Tuesday and Thursday. And if you're looking for a place to retreat, I host online gatherings associated with the portals every month. So the next one will be 222, February 22nd. The last one was January 11th. So if that's relevant to you, join in. 1717 as I'm saying that. And if you're in the Pittsburgh area, every month at the Millvale House, I host a soft place to land, which is a guided pause and retreat from the noise of the world. I hope you'll join me there. And in any case, I will see you here next Tuesday for another reading for the collective. Until then, though, I wish you nothing but peace, love, and happiness from this day forward. Take care.